Hey everyone, welcome to episode 10 of Ordinary Heroes Better in 20. I'm your host, Mauricio, and I know I say this a lot, but today's topic really is something special. We're talking with four incredible couples who all have multiples, not just kids, but multiple births together. They're raising 19 children, including 5 sets of twins and 1 set of triplets. From newborns to teenagers, you're about to get a wide snapshot of what family life across all stages look like. I couldn't be more excited to share this with you. Now, quick backstory, I actually recorded this panel back in January of 25 before I even knew where it would end up. So fast forward to October, 10 months later, and it's clear that this conversation was meant to live right here on this podcast. One quick disclaimer. At the time, I rented a great camera without realizing how to use it. And of course, I forgot the microphones. But don't worry, the video turned just fine, and you'll find captions available in case the audio isn't perfect. Trust me, if you know anyone who has or is about to have multiples, you'll want to share this episode with them. All right, let's dive in. Episode 10, Ordinary Heroes Better in 20.
Welcome. Today, we're going to talk about parents of multiples. Here I have with me Karen, mom of twins, and several parents of twins and triplets. So please, Karen, start. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, I'm Karen, and I'm married to Dan, and we have 5 girls, and my oldest is 17, and I have a 15, 13, and twin 11-year-old. So,
I knew that.
Yep. We've been married for 18 years, and I'm the girl one.
I'm Rachel, and Mauricio is my husband. We have an 8-year-old. We have 4-year-old twins and 7-month-old triplets.
Twins and triplets.
So 1, 2, 3 for us.
Corey?
Yeah, so I'm Corey. I'm married to Abby. We've been married for 11 years now. Have 2 sets of twins. The older 2 are girls, and they're 6. And then the younger set's 5, and they're roughly 18 months apart. And it's a girl boy for the younger set.
So twins. Dave, too?
I'm Dave. I'm married to Megan over here. We have a set of twin boys that are 4 years old, a 2-year-old girl, and a 4-month-old. And
Boy. Yeah, 4-month-old boy.
4-month-old boy. Yeah.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here, guys. I'm Mauricio, your moderator, married to Rachel, dad of twins, triplets, and 1. So it's been awesome, and I'm very excited to do this today. So the first question I want to ask is, Megan, you do scanning of mamas for a living. So you've heard of the news, so like you're having twins, and you all have experienced those news. So tell us about the experience of learning that you have in multiples.
So everybody's different. Sometimes the reaction is over the moon, so excited. I've always wanted twins. Other times it's not as happy. They're pretty taken aback, surprised, a lot of tears. Everyone's different, but by the end of the appointment, I feel like everyone usually walks out pretty excited.
Does anybody have a unique experience of learning about your twins when you learn about them? Was it a surprise? Was you expected?
I'd say our second set was a huge surprise. And we found out right around 20 weeks.
Wow.
Had no idea ahead of time. The doctor previously was swearing up and down. It was only 1. We go on for that initial ultrasound and just looked up at the screen and could tell right away.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's too familiar.
Wow.
I think ours was probably similar in that, like the first time we were over the moon excited, and the second time, I'll be honest, I think I had a little PTSD from having twins and like triplets. Are you kidding me? So I can't say it honestly. Like I remember in the moment feeling like I know I'm gonna be excited about this later, but right now I'm not happy, and just it took me a while to come to terms with it. And it didn't take long, and it turns around, and I'm thankful, so thankful for it. But it took a minute to accept that I was having triplets.
You mean what 2 was like? I think you might having a 3rd one.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? How did you overcome that? The surprise and the shock of having triplets? How do you have twins and then triplets?
Well, you had a much better response than me.
Yeah, how was your response?
I laughed. I laughed for 2 days. I said that indeed. A guy told me that just you gotta live life by moments. He has 7 kids, and he told me just live life by moments, because if you think of weeks from now, you're gonna freak out. If you think of months from now, you're gonna freak out. You just take a step at a time. And so at that moment, I knew that we have babies coming, and I was excited, very nervous after, but overall happy.
Hmm.
Yeah, he didn't go with me to the ultrasound because I had no idea that triplets were on my radar.
We had to rule out twins.
We had to rule out twins. And so, I was just going to make sure it was a single because I was certain that it was. And so I was just pretty upset, honestly. And I called him and he was just like excited. And that calmed me. I FaceTimed him in the apartment and that calmed me. But I mean, my mind in the first couple days processing, I'm like, I can't do this. What am I going to do? Twins are so hard. I can't do triplets. I'm going to have to give them away. I mean, I literally, it was like I had these thoughts and I knew that I would, this was like I knew my thinking would straighten out. But in that shock of it, I was just like, I'm going to have to give one to my sister and one to my brother. And then, and then a couple of days we laugh about that now. And I'm like, yeah, I really did think that at the time.
So can we talk about the hardness of twins? Like, why are twins hard? Who can share
The
that?
multiples, right? Your energy that they feed off each other is big for us.
Yeah, I think a lot of people that have singles, they kind of say like, oh, it's just 2 babies, but it's not. It's like multiplied when you have to, because they feed off each other. When one cries, it might wake the other one up. There's kind of that extra dynamic that's really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Corey, you have 2 sets of twins
Back to back.
back to back. So, having one set of twins is hard. Was it easier to have a second set of twins?
In some ways it was, because we knew what to expect, but it was hard really when, now we have 4 kids that half of them are crawling, the other half are just laying there and they're attacking each other if you look away to go do something. And they still really needed a lot of attention for the 1.5-year-olds. So there was a lot of time just spent splitting up, getting them some activity, burning energy away from the house, and going more to that zone defense, as I'd call it.
Is the
Working
first
through it.
set boy girl?
The first set's girl.
Identical?
No, fraternal.
Were you a little bit excited so then that they had a buddy? Because he was hoping for another set of twins, because he was like, then I feel like we wouldn't have a third. They'd have a buddy again, even though life was,
I mean, to me, it's not so much a buddy. Like 3 of them get along quite well.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that's
The
right.
4th one really adds a little bit of chaos. There's always feels like there's someone left out.
Yeah.
Is it
Okay.
is the boy having one boy? Is that typically the one that's Simon?
Would say not. I'd say it's one of the girls that typically starts fights with everyone and then separate them and just work through it.
I always thought that was the best thing about twins, is that it's like a built-in buddy, like a built-in, obviously getting past like the newborn stage and that crazy baby stage, but once they start getting older, and I don't know, I feel like it's like a built-in friend. And so I can see why you were saying like, oh, I hope it's another set of twins. And I've often thought of that too. I was like, it really is a built-in friend. And I just think there's something so beautiful and unique about that. Mm-hmm.
And
It's fun to watch.
I knew we wanted 4, so I was like, if we had 2 sets of twins, it's done. We're done. Third, and we try to have a 4th and not twins. Then we have 5, and you guys.
So to the women out there, what should they expect? For a mom who just learned you're having twins, what should they expect the first trimester, second trimester, third trimester?
Yeah, I mean, so I had 5 in 5.5 years, 5 babies with the twins, obviously making that happen. But I don't know, I've had really great pregnancies. And so for me, it wasn't so hard carrying my twins. I actually got bigger with my singles than I did with my twins. Even though I was, like weight wise, I went this way with singles, this way with the twins. But like my pregnancies were great. So I feel like that wasn't really that hard on me. I think the thing that I struggled with at the beginning of finding out that I was having twins was like, how am I going to birth multiple twins? Like, yeah, multiples, you know, because I've done natural births with my first three, and I'm like, okay, twins is just another dynamic. How am I going to do it? And so I had this like ping pong ball in between my ears, just being like doubting. And then I'd be like, okay, Lord, I trust you. And then I'd doubt, and then I would trust. And it was just getting on board with that, you know.
Did you end up doing a natural birth?
Yeah, so I did home births for my other three.
Okay.
And then with the twins, because Kate was breech, baby A was breech, I had to deliver in the OR just in case of the emergency C-section. And so I couldn't find a midwife that would be comfortable doing that. And so I got to meet a really awesome doctor in Atlanta, Georgia, Joseph Tate, who was trusted my body's ability to give birth. And so, yeah, I was able to deliver twins, a breech birth, and yeah, so it was nice.
So cool. So Rich, I don't know if you want to talk about your phases, but like, you know, with twins on the first trimester, it was hard, right? I mean,
Yeah.
just sick.
I was very sick. Yeah, with all of my pregnancies, it was. I feel like you think you're gonna have like some glory days, if you call it, or whatever. I just didn't have any. I went right from being so sick to very pregnant, and so that just was a really tough, like 8-9 months, depending on the pregnancy. And I carried well. I carried my twins to 38 weeks and my triplets to 34.
That's amazing.
So my body did well, but I think just the thing I battled was my expectations.
Yes.
I had the expectation of, I'm going to do this way, and this is how it's going to go. And I was going to have a natural birth, and I ended up with a C-section both times. And then the second time, I was going to make it to 35 weeks, and I made it to 34. So it was like, I kind of fought myself instead of just like accepting what was going to happen. I kind of was my own worst enemy. But I do think it's important to have like a team, whether it's a midwife or a doctor or whoever, like that believes that your body can do it. Like you were saying, I had a doctor for my triplets that I felt like believed in me, and that gave me confidence. And I'm like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to carry him and it's going to be fine. And then she went on vacation, and I kind of crumbled from there because I no longer had
The support system, right?
that believed in me, and I started doubting myself. And I mean, I think what was supposed to happen happened, but it
For
just
sure.
was, it was like a really hard battle in the end to grapple with that. And so I guess just trying to manage your own expectations of yourself and giving yourself grace to
Yes.
do what needs to do, even if it's not what you thought. It could be different than you thought.
Yeah. I think the biggest lesson is, giving ourselves grace because we thought it was going to be this way and it was not. And there's nothing you can do about it, just embrace.
I think what is like super neat about like being able to give birth is like you're in complete surrender, right? And
Yeah.
so no matter the outcome, like the Lord is, what I believe is the Lord is in control. And so whether I had to have a C-section or not, or whether, you were able to do it naturally or not, it's like just leaving it open-handed
Mhm.
and just being okay with that.
Yeah. Being okay with the outcome. Yep.
Megan, I saw sometimes you send me pictures of you doing bike ride or bike things from time to time. I mean, and you were pregnant. So tell us about your pregnancy.
So the first trimester of my pregnancies are always really tough. I'm very sick every day. I've never thrown up, but I'm always feel like it could happen at any moment
Oh.
throughout the whole day and night. And then I usually about 14 weeks hit where I kind of get a little bit of energy back, start feeling better. The twins, we had our twins first. And so it was a little bit easier because I could get home from work, crash right on the couch right away. Didn't have to take care of anybody else. And with the twins, I ended up on bed rest for 13 weeks. So that was like a mental struggle getting through that, and worried that they were going to come out at any day because I went into preterm labor at 25 weeks.
Wow.
And then they stayed in there. I had to be induced at 38 weeks. So, yeah. And then the two singletons after that, I felt like those pregnancies were a lot easier because I was the biggest with my twins. And I don't know if it was the experience or just having to take care of the other kids. And then we introduced TV to our twins. I was pregnant.
Easier to do.
So yeah.
So that's how do you help your wives in times that, you know,
Oh,
tough times?
How was your wife's pregnancies?
So they were pretty smooth. She had some sickness here and there, but I'd say, the second one we probably went into it a little bit more worried just because she hemorrhaged during the first birth. And that was a scary time. And you watch someone that you look back through it could have died, and you're left there trying to take care of two kids in the hospital while also trying to attend to her needs. And but I think it set us up for more success the second time. It was probably a little bit more relaxed, just due to that experience. You don't necessarily want to use the nursery at the hospital if that's where you choose to give birth, but sometimes it's just needed just to recover and advocate for. It's really a lot of times spent advocating for her and make sure she had everything she needed. And then afterwards, the first few weeks had to take on a little bit more of the load, but I was lucky in the fact that I had time off to be able to do so.
It's nice.
It's funny you mentioned the nursery because I think as time went on, like we had the twins and we had that mentality like we don't want to put them there, we feel guilty. Then the third one we're like, oh, we'll try and get a little bit of sleep. And then the last one was like, they're sleeping all the times. Yeah. But I think, through the pregnancies, I think the biggest thing is you just kind of want to help out as much as you can. And so like she wasn't feeling well, so you kind of like help out more and more. And then she was on bed rest, and you kind of take on almost all responsibility. And through all her pregnancies, I've noticed that in the third trimester specifically, she's like, I think high energy, like nesting, kind of wants to see the house right.
Right. Yes.
Kind of goes through
I
that.
can relate to that.
And on bed rest, it's like she becomes a director.
So can we talk about babies are coming? I think we all have experienced that this where twins are coming and there are kids in the nest. So any tips, like how do you thrive when you have twins and other kids in the nest? I mean, you have older, right? And then the twins came. So the twins.
How old was your oldest when the twins came?
She was like 5.5.
Oh, 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So a lot of energy. I mean, the 5-year-olds.
So you had 5 kids, 5 and under.
Yeah. Wow.
We laugh, right? It's like we got through it somehow. But yeah, it's like you just do it. You got to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think the hardest part is like the mom guilt that you feel, because I'm constantly like feel guilty that I'm not with the older kids, but feel guilty I'm not snuggling this baby like I did with the twins when that was all I had was taking care of the twins. So I think remembering that you're just doing the best job that you are doing right now that you can.
And the mom guilt is like a real thing, but I wish it wasn't, because when you look back at it, you're like, why did I put that on myself? And who's putting it on me but myself? It's like, I just wish that wasn't even a thing. And I know every mom struggles with it, but there's no need, right? Because it's like everybody's just doing the best that they can. And you just have to do what's right for your family. And
Ma would always remind me that, Rachel, the only person putting these expectations on you is you. I'm like, I know that.
But I think that's been pivotal, though, that you're the one that is like speaking that over her, though, because I think we could be our own worst enemy and creating all these scenarios in our head. And all we need is our husband to just redirect our focus and be like, honey, like, that's like, and what you did is a beautiful thing. I think that's just important, is just redirecting our thoughts a lot of times.
One thing I was like reminded of just today is you think about childbirth, you forget the pain, right? You look back and it was painful. Yeah, we do it again.
Yeah.
So like there's like this grace that you forget the pain. And I think that I was reminded, like, in a sense, kids are given that same grace where there's going to be some chaos, but they're going to forget this too. Just as we forget it, I think a lot of it's going to be the same for them. Like,
Yeah, I think we're gonna talk about NICU, but in the NICU we had a nurse who was a triplet or a sister of a triplet.
oh yeah, sister of a trip.
Sister, and so we asked her, so how was it? How was it growing up with triplets? And she said it was chaos, but all in
She
all,
said it prepared her to be a very effective nurse.
yeah, because she dealt with
She was very
with chaos,
caring, and yeah,
so
she felt like it was like a blessing. Like it kind of made her into who she was instead of ruining her. Because I was so concerned. Like, I think that was a big concern of mine during pregnancies. Like, you love the kids you already have, and you're so concerned that they're going to get lost in the mix.
Right.
And yet it was encouraging to hear her perspective, because I'm like, okay, you came through it and it's fine, and thrived because of it. So yeah, it was encouraging.
Yeah, I think it's super important to just stay positive. Like
Yeah.
putting that positive spin on almost
Yeah.
everything you do is
Yeah.
key, because without it, you can just quickly.
Yeah. There's a lot of negatives. It's true. Like, there's a lot of things that can get you down. And if you count your blessings and you think about the things that are going well, the help you do have, the support you do have, all of those things, it makes it so much easier, because there's certainly a lot of negative you could focus on, and that just sends you spiraling.
yeah.
Yeah. Especially in the toddler stage.
Yeah.
They act out, they do something,
Yeah.
they fight, they
Uh-huh.
like,
Oh, yeah.
are we doing something wrong?
And that wraps up episode 10. Honestly, I got goosebumps. When we recorded this conversation, my triplets were just 7 months old. Now they're walking and a little over a year old. It's wild how fast time moves, and the truths that you heard today still hold strong. What really stood out to me was a reminder to manage our expectations and surrender to the moment, not clinging to yesterday, not stressing about tomorrow, but simply doing right by your kids today. We also heard powerful insights on communication and mindset, things that truly make a difference in parenting, especially when life feels full. And we're not done yet. Part 2 is coming up, and you definitely don't want to miss it. I'll see you on the next episode.